So here is the first series of the Living Legacy Project, and I'm here with Ray. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Ray. Tell us, a little bit about how you came to Utah, if you're not from here, and just a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Ray Mustis. My family originally is from the South, from Mexico. My family traveled through Texas, New Mexico, and eventually settled into Colorado, where I was born and raised. Second generation, my parents were born in Colorado also. Grandparents originally from Mexico, as I said. I worked primarily in governmental agencies, state agencies, nonprofit agencies for many years throughout Colorado. And I went to school at the University of Northern Colorado, the University of Southern Colorado, and eventually ended up at the University of Denver. It was quite an adventure, but seemed to attend every college, university in the state.
That's good. Well educated.
Yes, it gave me quite an experience. One of my father's goals is to get an education in our family, is to pursue as many opportunities as we could. And America being the land of opportunity, we really took advantage of that. So my brother and I both have PhDs. I have mine in the world of social work. Brother's an engineer. And right now, I'm settled in Salt Lake City, Utah. I've had some contact with people that have moved here, and my daughters, right out of high school, they moved here also to be with their best friends. So I had a connection here, would visit every year, and it just seems like I fell in love with the place. So as I was getting older and retired, and thought, well, it's a nice place to be. So decided to move here, leave the family that I had in Colorado, got here, and settled in very nicely. Except with the strokes that I had about a year after I got here. And thank goodness that I moved in with family and that I had family here to look after me after that happened. And we're talking about 2023.
Oh, okay.
That I had my strokes, and eventually got out of rehab and got myself balanced up again and moved into Friendship Manor, which was a real blessing. Things just seemed to come to me in that kind of way. You just open up your arms, open up your eyes, listen to the universe, I suppose.
Yeah,
to put it.
I like it. So, how did you get into social work? What made you decide to do that?
My family has always been healers. Mother was a nurse, but she didn't achieve that until later on in life. But my father was always the helping hand. He dropped out of school when he was very young, in third grade, to help support the family. Grandmother passed away very, very early in life. And my grandfather was a sheep herder in Trinidad, Colorado, and he would walk every season to take care of the sheep in Trinidad. And instead of paying the 15 cents for the train, he would walk 3 days to Denver and back again when the season started up again. So my father instilled the tremendous ethic of education. And even one year he took us out in the summertime and helped the migrantes, the migrant workers, to pull lettuce and watermelons. And it convinced me that, yep, that's the way for school. That's what we need to do. So got quite an education from my father. Really, he got real smart as I got older.
Yeah.
And I ended up here in Utah following work.
Oh.
And so there's an opportunity here that I had. Came here and worked for the state for a year or two, worked for the feds for a year or two, then had my strokes and had to retire, and still do a little work with the university at this point.
Okay. What did you like most about doing social work?
Working with people. I hear a lot of people in their experience with folks, kids, adults, and some of the challenges that they faced, homelessness, substance issues, things like that. And I felt very challenged in helping them, and very enriched, I think, for that whole experience. It taught me a lot. Working inside prisons, That was quite an experience. I had an opportunity to be in the same room with a couple of master criminals, FBI most wanted. And that was quite an energizing
I
experience.
bet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thinking back over your career, what do you feel like brought you the most joy doing that job?
Well, that's an interesting question. To see the small success in people, the sobriety, the gaining a home, getting a job, those kinds of things. Seem to celebrate the small things and like the small successes. And that kind of brought me a lot of joy to see the smile in a family when they're moving into a home, when they're going to get an apartment, the small joy that they take in their own lives, in sobriety, in becoming free of that prison of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
That's quite a success when you see their motivation.
Yeah. I bet it's very rewarding for you to see people being able to be that support for people and seeing them progress in life and get themselves out of really hard and difficult situations.
And to relate to that experience in a way that is very personal, really gave me a feeling of success and joy and knowing that there's hope.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people are looking for. I think when people move into an older place like this is a senior supported housing. And I think when people move in here, they're old, they're a little bit, they have limitations physically, emotionally, socially. And so I really feel that, that success in their life will help stabilize, will help motivate, will help, emotionally regulate their lives.
Yeah, I like that. As you've aged and you are able to reflect back on your life, what are some things that you have gratitude for now?
I have gratitude for a very stable household. When I grew up, I had a brother and a couple of parents that stayed around through all of our escapades when we were kids and teenagers and young adults. I'm grateful for the experiences that made me a better person. I'm grateful for the relationships that I've had in my life, that they've helped me grow. Relationships aren't always as wonderful as you expect, as good as you wanted. But they're a teaching tool. There's something that if you can learn from those relationships and hopefully become a better person, I'm a much better person because of the people that I had some intimate relationships with.
Yeah, that's really good. It's a good little piece of wisdom for people because every situation we go through can be a teaching moment.
Exactly. We try not to let it be a prison. We try to let it to be a classroom where we do learn some prison. We can be held hostage by our guilt, by our regrets, by our doubts. And once we experience that ability to free ourselves from that, then we're able to experience those emotions that other people can give us those experiences.
Yeah, I love it. What's one experience in your life that you feel has given you the biggest lesson?
My sobriety. That has been one thing that I struggled with, that I fought with there every step of the way. But what it taught me is that I'm braver than I thought I ever was, that I have more strength than I thought I ever did, and that I can accomplish more than I ever have.
Wow.
Thank you, Winnie the Pooh. That's Winnie the Pooh that said that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, one last question. If you could leave one message for future generations, what would you say?
Search for yourself. That self, the Buddhists, they call that self-God. That you search for that higher power, that strength that you get from spirituality, some people call it. But I would really encourage people to look for yourself, look inside, to look for that the honesty, the integrity, the strength, the compassion, for all the things that would make you a good person. I know when they told me that when I was younger, yeah. But as you get older, you realize those are the very important things that you look for. And, build that strength in yourself. We're here in an environment that is older population. We're a forgotten population. We're a forgotten generation.
Mm-hmm.
Once you stop earning and once you stop spending in this market, in this society, they forget about you. We're a forgotten generation. And, to have that strength in yourself to survive, to avoid the loneliness, the isolation, that really brings you down.
Yeah.
Is something that I think we really need to develop prior to you coming. So
I guess I do have one more question. What do you do to combat loneliness? What do you think being your age, what do you do that helps with that?
all the therapists and the readings that I do, music, dancing, connecting with people. If you want a friend, be a friend. All of things, working in the soil, listening to music, tremendous research on music and Alzheimer's, dementia right now going on.
Mm-hmm.
The old rock and roll, even classical music, reading. There's so many things to do here that people have really, gotten into. So
Yeah, I love that because, I think even kids, there's a loneliness epidemic, but all the way around. And I think elderly people feel it because you've lost your network of people. You're not working anymore. You're not with the people. You're 9 to 5 seeing people all the time.
right.
So it's a different reason for loneliness, but I think even kids have a lot of loneliness. And I think your point of staying connected and to be a friend is a really great piece of advice. So,
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
It's, and you hit the word, it's such an epidemic in this country. The United Kingdom, England, has created a loneliness department, loneliness cabinet member to address this national epidemic in London. So people are recognizing that this is a national health concern.
Yeah.
Like this contributes to heart issues, to, body issues, mental health, all of these things. So loneliness is truly an epidemic, like you say.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in.
Well, absolutely.
And developing more connection to combat the loneliness.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Okay.